Hello, my name is Tegan, and in this series of videos of me showing you techniques to learn how to develop your skills as an artist, I wanted to just jump right into this video and show you a technique that I had kind of developed to bring more curiosity, more creativity to myself and my own artwork. This one's very simple, so we're just going to get into it. I'll explain it while I keep going. So I have a big sheet of paper here. I'm working on a Cintiq. You can work on anything you want to digitally in iPad or paper. I highly recommend working on paper, just a pencil and paper. First thing, I guess I'll explain what it is that I'm trying to do here. So when we're working with creativity, we're working with this curiosity to know what is next, what comes next. And sometimes it's, somebody tells us what to draw, but oftentimes we're, you know, staring at a blank sheet of paper. We have no idea what we want. So this kind of solves this problem. I call this technique the through the door, or the door technique, whatever. The reason why I think this works so well is because there's different layers to this. So the first layer is what angle is this door at? And I'm gonna draw this pretty thick, or it looks pretty thick, of a line. Um, so we've got this angle here. It's like the door is being opened, right? And it's angled like it's coming forward. So we're just gonna complete this this doorway here, and it'll kind of fix the perspective of how we're looking. Okay, so now we can see that this door is coming forward. What is a way that we can establish this perspective even better? We can just go ahead and add the door side. So the side that normally faces towards the wall is now being opened up. Also, don't worry about being exact with your lines. That's not what this is about. It's just capturing this essence of a thought, this sketch. It's kind of like thumbnailing, except there's no purpose. The thumbnail serves a purpose to go from a thumbnail to a rough to a final. There's a whole process there, but this is no there's no end goal. This is just what we're working with. So we can start to define this door if we want. We can say, what kind of door is this? This will lead to what kind of interior is this? Okay, so if I just throw a door handle on there, okay, this can be any door. Probably an interior door. Exterior doors might have handles that look like this, right? Something that has a little bit more pizzazz. Maybe an exterior door has a window so that you can see in. Maybe that window has like these lines, these bars that go across. Okay, now it's looking kind of more of like a tavern doorway, an entrance. Okay, so what's inside of a tavern? We can start to look inside of it now. Now that we kind of have this idea, this door looks like this, so this might be inside of this. So we might have a table. In this, the perspective of this door is already telling us kind of what the perspective of the things inside are. Okay, so we have this door. Now we have this table, and maybe the table has legs, and maybe they're very simple legs, right? Maybe this is a tavern that's in the middle of nowhere, right? Like, it's not fancy or exquisite or anything. But on this table, now we have this ability to draw this line. This line here will just tell us where the table goes in perspective. However, what is on a table? We could have glasses, plates, but let's do like an ale glass. So, what does that look like? Something like this. I don't know, a goblet. Okay, and now we can connect it, just like that. Okay, so now we've established that this door is leading to somewhere with a glass. And what are other things that we can add into this scene that might make it look more like that? Okay, well, maybe a chair. And a chair has legs, but this leg is being hidden by that. That's okay. And then we can add in this little leg in the back. Okay, and maybe there's a chandelier in here too. So we can add some chains maybe. Maybe it's held up by chains. And I'm not sure exactly what kind of chandelier I want, but maybe a circular one with hanging lanterns or something. Okay. So now we kind of have this room. And this idea developed with just such small modifications to this door. This door can lead to anywhere. And I think that's why it makes this technique so great. Now, you can also like make your style your pencil thinness, your stylus, your whatever, you can make it smaller. So you can come in here and do greater details. This chair can have layers. It can have perspective itself. This glass can have more intricate details. But the reason why we've done it so small is that okay, now we've established what's in here. We don't have to think about it any further than what we've already created. We're just adding on to it each time. This is like a little fireplace back there. And yeah, maybe there's candles or something up here. All right, so let's move on. Let's do a bigger door, and I'll actually make this size a little smaller, and let's see where this goes. Okay, so let's make this door pretty big. Pull it down here. And from over here, actually, before I do that line, I'm just gonna undo that. I'm gonna add the side of my door here. Yeah, now I will do it. I'll add that. And you can extend this however much you want. Like, okay, if it comes out here, if it's half this door, fine. Like, there's nothing that says that this perspective is wrong because nothing else has been developed in it. If you have half a door and half an entrance, that might not be the best composition. It doesn't look very interesting in comparison to this like 1/3 here, but you'll get more out of the inside. You can inject more inside there. I'm just gonna keep it like this, I think, just to show you like yeah, you can do this and you get more room in here. So let's see. What can be on the outside of this door? The first thing I'm thinking is a little door. I want a little door in here. I don't know. I think it's already an interesting storytelling mechanism uh to say, hey, you know what? There's a big door, and now there's also a little door, and this little door can have a handle, and this big door can also have a handle. But instead of this tiny little handle, I'm gonna just put a little bit more into it. So it made this door handle bigger, like that. I can get more detail into this door handle as well, and more ideas. So what if it's a jewel, right? Okay, now we can start to add some facets into it. And I don't know if that really looks like a jewel or not, but it's fine. We're just it's creativity. We're just expanding on this vision inside our minds. So what else can be out here? Maybe we'll work our way inside and uh, and we'll develop the door on the outside as well. So it can go both ways. Or what we can do is start adding trim, and this trim might tell us where we're at as well. So there's so many different places you can work in order to develop this idea. Okay, so this trim made me think, okay, maybe there's this wainscoting out here. It's that fancy halfway point that you see in different houses. And now that I've added that, I'm thinking, okay, now there's might be a a baseboard. And up here, that makes me think, okay, maybe this door is actually kind of a fancier door. If there's this wainscoting, maybe there's these insets in here. And I want to make sure that I get this perspective correct. So I'm gonna go in from both sides. And this is kind of hitting that door handle, which is maybe not the best, but we'll continue with it. And while you're doing this, I highly recommend you stay away from the eraser, just to let things flow, and forgive yourself for any kind of mistake you might think you've made. Like this line doesn't look like it attaches. Okay, well, that's fine. It's just a little beefy. I can clean that up later. Okay, and then maybe this tiny door has the same pattern. That could be cool. And then if we are, deciding that this is an inset, then we have to declare our perspective. In there. Okay. Normally, if there's an inset, then there's also like an outset thing as well. So, these are really deep. It's like this line here is blocking this line, so it looks like it's much deeper than it maybe should be. That's all right. Then this one should be like that. Okay, well, maybe that's a little bit messy, but I've got the idea, and I understand where it's going. Maybe there's this as well, just to kind of finish off that look. But right now, I'm just thinking that while I'm doing this, I'm also thinking, what do I want in here? Okay, there's a tiny door. Now I'm not really sure what could be in here, but now I'm thinking, okay, let's go something really ethereal here. I have got these wainscoting. I'm trying to make this fancy. It kind of looks like an exterior door to an interior world, a realm maybe. Let's add some clouds. Clouds are a great way to describe your own style, because there's so many different ways you can make clouds. You can make clouds swirl. A swirling cloud is interesting. It can define your styles, what you like to see. And that's really, I mean, this looks like the poop emoji, right? Or a dragon. You know what? Okay, I started making this. All right, let's make it a dragon. What do dragons look like? Do they have ears? They definitely have fangs, right? And nostrils. That's what made me think this looked like a dragon. Oh, and then the eyes there. There might be like the legs that come off. I don't know the perspective where I'm trying to go with this, but that's okay. Again, what this is about is training to open up. This is a new exploration. Every door is something new and something different, in a new way that you can explore your own inner worlds. Okay, so he's kind of like, flinging himself around. That could be cool. I do like that. And maybe out here on this cloud over here is a temple, some sort of like Athenian Greek uh palace, or what do they call that? Something else with a P. Pantheon. Okay. Be like a pantheon. Maybe there's a person there, a statue. Maybe there's one even closer. Maybe there's a statue over here. And that might set the scene for what this world represents or what it means. Kind of statue. I don't know. We'll just do a face. Kind of a strange face. Hair. curls. Okay, a neck and maybe a dress. I'm going with this Greek theme here. Yeah, okay, so maybe a toga. Yeah, this is looking a little 2D for me, but like it's hard for me to start seeing the direction of this. I'm not exactly sure what happened here. Maybe I need to define this a little bit better. Maybe this can be an arm that is holding up a sword. I don't know what happened to this arm. All right, I'm just gonna keep going. It's all right. It's all right. No need to worry about that. That can be in the second stage. Yeah, why not? A little sword. It's like, yeah, welcome to this realm, this world. It's Greek. It's old. There's swords and whatnot. Okay, that's fine. And you know what? Let's add some more cloud area here. It can envelop. Okay, now the statue is huge. This is tall. It's up in the clouds. Uh, it's so it's so far away from reality, or I say reality, but any statue can be this tall. Why not? Okay, so now that begs the question: if you open this door, am I just gonna drop off into this infinity, this um, not infinity, but like 100 feet up? There's all these clouds, but now there's this palace in the clouds. So I don't know, maybe there's a better way to get to this palace. Maybe we do like a cloud road, like a road, yeah, road cloud. That sounds fun. Okay. Um Clouds. And we're just going to try to define this path. We don't have to show the path. We can just um insinuate it. Is that the right insinuation? I don't know. Maybe just assume. Now we're showing, okay, there is this direct path. It's almost shown via the angles because the clouds are horizontal right here, but the path is going in a direction, this way and that way. And maybe a better way that we can show it is that there's like a cloud buildup that shows the edge of the path. So we can just add like little mini clouds here to demonstrate that this is not, you don't want to step off this. This is like, this is it. This is the last side. Maybe here in the back we can show that, yeah, we are really high up in the sky, and we can show waterfall. So here can be the waterfall. Here can be the river going off to the side. Okay, and then big waterfalls have that massive plumage of not fog, mist. Yeah, mist. Okay. Okay, now there's water here. And maybe there's rocks here. We can add trees. Different ways that we can show how far away we are. But also this is a really great way to show yourself how you make things that you think you're seeing. Like these trees, they're literally I just did this. But if I was closer, if I were to look even closer, okay, maybe the tree has branches, right? Okay, now it's starting to get a little bit more defined. Okay, but if we look even closer, I'm even closer to that tree. What does that tree look like? Maybe that tree has more of, there's more bark, right? There's bark, and now there's even more branches to this tree because I can see more of it. Right. Maybe this branch even comes up and there's a second layer to the tree. You know, it's an old tree. There's lots of layers there. And the more you zoom in, the more you can define it. There's better opportunity. We can even add like leaves in here that, you know, just dots that represent leaves. And this technique is a really great way to show that as well, or to explore the different ways you like to create definition. So grass, okay, grass from out here might look like that. Grass from this far away might have some more like patterning. Grass from over here might have like another element to it, so it's a little bit thicker, something like that. That's just, you know, something to think about while exploring this technique. This actually kind of looks like an axolotl, like a flying axolotl. I'm gonna add some different elements there that kind of accentuate that. I noticed that it's kind of hard to see. I get to look at it really close because it's the Cintiq, it's this whole screen. But for you guys, it might look kind of hard to see. I think that's an interesting thing to think about, because when you're on paper, you can look really closely. You can get up to that paper. It's not a screen. You know, your eyes aren't going to burn when looking at it. And the closer you look at that paper, the closer you look at what these lines really represent, and add more definition. Like this character I just have here, I just added an eye with just a dot. It's just, you know, that. But if I were to look even closer, or my brush was smaller, I could add more definition. I could say what this character looks like. Okay, so now we're up in this sky. Let's just finish off this pathway, and I think we should add some more line weight to discover how we should actually look at this. So I'm gonna make this brush even smaller. Let's go to 4. And I'm gonna try to pick out the areas that I think are the most important and accentuate them. So let's start with the cloud road. So that's really important to differentiate between this here waterfall and the space up above. We've got 2 layers now, and they're very far apart. So this cloud is rolling into this area. And this path is already pretty big. And I think I would probably need to work more on how to make it look more cloudy. Some different ways maybe we can make this cloud path look more path like is that this could actually be smaller. So we can start to add a direction there. And with that, we might have to erase. And like with everything, erasing should be the last consideration. Okay, and maybe the clouds are held up from other clouds underneath, which might help. Okay, and maybe there's more trees off in the distance, and maybe that's how we can separate this area. The more definition we put in this, the more understanding we will have for ourselves and for the viewer of our art as well. So, yeah, this character is very basic, but if we add more of the idea that we originally had, it will come across. So I wanted there to be curly hair. Okay, this isn't, you know, there's curves, but it's not curly. So maybe there's layers here, and we have to add that extra curl to get that across. You know, in this dragon has so much opportunity to add details, like these scales, that I could just keep adding on all the way down. And those scales, that repetition in pattern, is going to make this overall depiction more entertaining to look at. There's depth, there's patterning. Okay, so I think that this pretty much wraps up the video. This technique is a great way to define your style and the ways that you can develop it to go that certain way. Maybe you added in things that you never thought of before. You're thinking of different worlds, different realms, different rooms, all these different ideas that maybe you haven't thought of before. Maybe you start seeing them in a different way as well. And once you start adding these different elements, you can start looking around the corner. What is next? What is there? And I think that's really beneficial to everyone. So if you like this video and you want to see more, go ahead, click that like, subscribe. If you want to see any of my socials, links are in the description. Thank you, and keep drawing.